Hi, welcome to day 4 of our prep week. Today I moved it into the kitchen and I'm going to talk a little bit about what a typical day looks like for me while following the 21-day fixed meal plan. I have a tendency to be pretty boring when I'm on the fix, and I have a habit of eating the same meals every day for several days in a row. It doesn't bother me. I think it's easier. It makes planning easier so I can buy things in bulk. So right now I'm going to go over what a typical day would look like for me, what I eat for each of my meals, and some of my favorite things. So for breakfast every morning after I do my workout, I always have Shakeology, either chocolate or strawberry. If I'm having strawberry, I usually will throw some frozen strawberries in there with it and use one of my purple containers. So this would count as a red and a purple. So that would be my breakfast. And if I hadn't had fruit in my morning Shakeology, I will have an apple. And I love this almond butter. So I'd have a teaspoon of this for my snack with my apple for my morning snack. Afternoon, so for lunch and for dinner, I usually try and have a green, a red, and a yellow together for both breakfast and for lunch. And so for lunch, I usually have a salad. I really love this broccoli slaw. You can get it at your grocery store near the bag stuff. I eat a lot of salad, so I was kind of getting tired of salad, so I changed it up and started eating this broccoli slaw instead. So I'll throw some broccoli slaw in with some spinach. Spinach is another one of my favorites. I go through about 1 container of these a week by myself. So for the salad, I'd measure out my vegetables in my green container. I usually add all sorts of things in there too. Jicama, tomatoes, cucumbers. I kind of go heavy on the vegetables. I'm sure I go over my allotted amount in vegetables, but sometimes I don't always eat all my fruit. So I figured it kind of weighs itself out. And so that would be my vegetable for my lunch. And this is probably one of my favorite things. These are turkey burgers. I buy them from Costco. There's nothing else in these but just turkey. There's no fillers or breadcrumbs. There's a little salt and rosemary, but there's no other added ingredients. So I'll cook this up on my stove. You cook them frozen. And I'll chop it up and add it to my salad. And then I usually will actually add some quinoa to my salad. I'll measure it in the yellow container and throw it in and just kind of mix it all together. Sometimes I'll add in black beans, white beans, some kind of bean, something that at lunch I'm having a green, a red, and a yellow together. In the afternoon, I love to have hummus as my next snack. Hummus and carrots is usually what I go for. We go through this big thing of hummus. Hummus counts as your blue container. So that's what I would typically have for a snack, my mid-afternoon snack. And then dinner, like I said, is the same combination, a green, a red, and a yellow. For dinner, I usually have not a salad, but some form of hot vegetables. Depending on how lazy I am to cook vegetables, sometimes I have frozen vegetables. I love to buy this particular mix from Costco. I just throw it in a pan and add a little seasoning and some water and put a lid on it, kind of steam them up and get them warm. And I'll add a different type of protein depending on what I'm in the mood for. I might make a lean steak and cut it up and put it in my red container. Steak, chicken, ground beef. You know, it's really up to you. That's kind of what I would do. And then, again, I'll either have quinoa or a whole grain pasta with it as well. And then usually my last meal of the day is after my kids go to bed, and I have Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is my treat at the end of the night, and I sweeten it with a little bit of stevia drops. And if I have a fruit left, I'll add some strawberries. And I take my orange container and I measure out just a tiny bit of grape nuts to give it a little bit of crunch. And that would be a typical day for me. Like I said, I eat the same foods for several days in a row, and then I'll change it up. But my meals are really, really simple. I will, however, share, there's a file in the group with a bunch of different recipes that are Fix approved, and I will also share my Pinterest board. Not all of those recipes are my recipes, but there's a lot of other people who are doing this program who've created more complex recipes that you could follow if you're trying to cook for your whole family, or to make a lot of stuff or just to change it up. But those are my favorite things, and I'll see you tomorrow.